Hey, hi friends. My name is Abhishek Roshan and welcome to my channel Engineer Abhishek Roshan. So friends, in today's session we are going to discuss 300 plus interview question and answer from your AWS, that is Amazon Web Services, friends. So friends, if you remember in the last live streaming session, most of the subscriber are asking, sir, when you are going to start the interview question and answer from your DevOps, GitHub, Docker, Kubernetes, right? DevOps tools. At the same time, and friend, if you remember properly, if you go through that live streaming, you will come to know few of them are asking like, sir, what are the skills are required to become a DevOps engineer? So, friend, I used to call it as a three pillars to become a DevOps engineer. Okay, because you cannot stick with a Linux administrator as I said previously also that I started my career as a Linux administrator. Then I need to move on from your cloud administrator, and then now I am into DevOps engineer. Because if you have to sustain into this IT industry, you need to choose one cloud, friend. From somewhere you need to start with one cloud. So I am going to start with AWS, where I am going to cover 300 plus interview question and answer into your AWS. So mostly it will start with a basic level, I can say at a fresher level, and then gradually I'll split up into intermediate level and then into experience level. So everybody is going to cover in this interview question and answer, my friend. After this, I'll make another almost 200 plus interview question and answer from your Azure cloud, my friend. So you are almost done with your Linux part, you are done with your cloud part, and in between also I'll make videos of your almost 200 plus interview question and answer from your DevOps tool, where we are going to cover your GitHub, and anyways, Git and GitHub I've already put the videos, and then we have Jenkins, we have configuration management tool Ansible, and then we have, my friend, like your orchestration tool Kubernetes will be there, your containerization tool, your Docker is there, and your all monitoring tools I am going to cover like Kivana, Grafana, Prometheus. These tools I am going to cover in those interview question and answer, friend. So by end of this all series, because see, if it's not, I can say that everybody is preparing for Linux administration, that few of you have been preparing for the cloud interview also. So this is why I am trying to reach all the audience or whoever needs help or seeking help in the field of either in the cloud, either in the Linux, or in the field of your DevOps tools, my friend. So let's start the session without wasting much time, because as I said, time is money for us. But friends, those who have not subscribed to my channel, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe the channel and press the bell icon, my friend. Friends, let's start the session with almost 300 plus interview question and answer from your AWS, that is Amazon Web Services, my friend. And friends, before starting with question number one, let me tell you that I am starting with beginner level, the interview question and answer, and then gradually I'll go on to the intermediate level, and then according to that, the advanced level. So nobody is going to left behind. Everybody is going to cover in this 300 plus interview question and answer, my friend. And at the same time, I know few of you are looking like that course kind of for AWS. So friends, soon I am going to come up with almost 45 days of AWS course, where I am going to cover all the services of your AWS. This is the AWS console you can see. And friends, whatever the answer I am giving over here, okay, that is totally official from your AWS. There is nothing from anywhere, okay, and you can go by yourself also, and you can no need to document also. You'll get all the document itself in the AWS console, my friend. Okay. So link I'll provide you in the description. You can go ahead and you can read those, but let me take you through the actual console, how it's look like, my friend, right? So if you click over here, so this is, you can see the complete dashboard it will look like. So here in the right side, you can see these are your reasons. So normally for my account ID, the kind of account I am having, that is only having some 17 regions. So regions are nothing but these are your physical locations, or I can say these are your physical location of the data center of your Amazon Web Services, where you can see these are your, and rest 11 regions that are not enabled for this account, because this is something free account, I can say. Normally AWS give it for first year, so you can create according to that. It's up to you. Okay, if you don't want to invest much, so for the first year it will be free. If suppose that account will be lapsed, so you can create another account with a different email ID, my friend. Okay, that is, and I am in those 45 days, I am going to cover all these services, my friend. Okay, just to tell you, see, this is AWS is something like pay and use kind of stuff, where in India there is something called Ola, right? Or any service based, right? So where you will pay the money and you can use the service, and as soon as you don't want that service, you just no need to do anything. You no need to pay anything, right? So here also all these services, whether it's related to your compute, your containers, or it's related to your storage or a database, right? So everything will be pay and use, means suppose if you want to use it for one day or one month, there will be a plans will be there. According to that you can take these plans, and within these 45 days course I am going to cover most of these services, friends. So you are going to not only to go in depth of AWS, that is Amazon Web Services Cloud. At the same time, you have almost 300 plus interview question and answer, friend. So friends, I am not going to drag it much. So let's start with question number one. So list the components to build Amazon VPC. Okay. So first of all, you need to understand one thing, my friend, that is what is a VPC. VPC is called your virtual private cloud. It's more of a, I can say, see, just now I have shown you there is something called a region, right? So, like suppose as of now I have selected a region called Mumbai over here. Okay, so this is a physical location. Under this region, we can create n number of VPC, but there is a limit for that also, and that is also one interview question and answer, my friend. So, in the upcoming slides, you are going to get that question. So under this, you can create your VPC. Like if suppose under Mumbai, I have my own VPC for engineer Abhishek Roshan, right? And like there are some other companies. So it is more of a, I can say it's a private network which you are creating for yourself, and it's more of a secure, where so that is what the question is over here is like, what are the list of components is required to create a VPC? To you create your own network, to create your own intranet. I'm not talking about internet. Internet is something which is public, but intranet is something which is private. If you see like in organization, so organization has their own network, right? You can take it any organization, XYZ organization. Okay, even if you take it Oracle, or you can take it HCL, or any of the organization, my friend. Okay, so they have their own network, or right. So same way you can create your own network. So to create a virtual private cloud, to create your own network, what all the list of components are required over here, that is something your VPC, you can give your own VPC name. Subnet is required. Subnet is means what? Means how many IPs you required, my friend. Okay. Subnet means suppose the range you need to select. If you go here, I can show you if you can understand from here. If I run VPC, okay, let's select this one. Here, if you click on this one, so here you can see there are some default subnets are available already over here, right? So if you have not created anything, but this is of your IPv4, means your, that is CIDR, classless inter-domain routing, means your IPv4, your range, means whether you want /16/20, how many IPs you want for one subnet. Okay, that you need to decide under subnet. And there is something called route table. Route table means what, my friend? So your gateway IP will be defined there, your source IP will be there, your destination IP will be there, means from where to where you are connecting, right? And your internet gateway, if you can see here, I can give you a practical how it's exactly look like a VPC. So you'll better understand from here, my friend. Let me show you. Let me type just VPC, and these are I am directly showing you from the docs, okay, from the Amazon Web Services docs, okay. So if you click over here, so here you can understand, right? So this is what I was talking about. To create a VPC, you require a subnet. Subnet is what? Why we need a subnet? That is your IP, okay. So if you want to create an instance, to create a virtual machine is going to assign with one IP, so you need a range of IP over there, right? So that is that my suppose if you have created three VMs, okay, so these three IPs are going to assign to that instances, right? And within the whatever the subnet you have defined, okay, and this is something called availability zone AZ1. This is up to you whether you want to create a availability zone or not. Availability zone is nothing but it's more of, you can say, redundancy. Suppose if one instance is same, or you can say one is for like active, one is for passive kind of stuff, where one of your instances will be down in, suppose one instance will be in AZ1, another instance will be in AZ2. So both having the same configuration, but if one is down, the other will be up. So you have zero downtime, my friend. Okay. And there is, as I told you right here, there is something called internet gateway. Why we need an internet gateway? Obviously, that is your virtual private cloud. But when you are going to host application, any application you can take it, my friend. Okay. Whether you it's a Flipkart or Ola or anything, but you are able to access through your mobile. How? Because there is a gateway which is connecting your public network to your private network. Okay, so we need to secure your virtual private. This is your virtual private cloud, and you need a gateway. Gateway means what? Gateway is something where you can join two gates. Just try to understand between. You can take it as a border of one country to the other country also, or border of one state to other state also. When you are crossing to other states, so this is a gateway which connects between two states. Just a real time example I am telling you. You can take it any example, my friend. Okay, so here it's do some kind of a gateway, some configuration will be there. According to that, your public IP, whenever you are trying to hit a application, right? When it's coming, or the URL which you are hitting, so you are hitting from your public network, and it's the application is hosted in your private network. So when you are hitting the application, you are able to get a response from the server, right? But you cannot access that server, right? The reason behind that, that is a intranet. But to how you are accessing through this internet gateway, my friend. Okay, now the next thing is egress only internet gateway. Egress is nothing something, it's more of a, I can say, in the security groups. Let me show you over here. If I type VPC, here only you can see, right? Egress. So as I told, VPC subnet I have explained you. Route tables, here you can see this is a by default route table will be there. Okay, and internet gateway, right, through which you can communicate your private and public network. Here you can say egress only internet. Here I have not created anything. This is something inbound and outbound. Means what sort of a traffic you want it into your private cloud, and what sort of a response you want to send it back to your consumers or to your end user, right? That you can define under this security groups, which is in the form of ingress or egress, right? Mostly we can call it as a inbound or a outbound, my friend. Okay, and yeah, that's it. I think we have covered everything. You can consider NAT gateway also. Okay, you can consider endpoint services also. Elastic, there are multiple, but these are the basics, which are the list of component to build an Amazon VPC, that is virtual private cloud, my friend. Okay, so friends, here you can see that if you want to create your own VPC, you can directly go. You can search over here VPC and you can create. So resource by region. See, because as I said, I'm into Mumbai region. That is the physical location of the data center of your region is nothing but it's a physical location of your data center. Okay, so here you can see VPC. Okay, So VPC you can create according to the region also, and you can connect also. Okay, there are some ways to do that one, but there are some I can say components are required to do that one, to connect one VPC from one region to other region also. This is also interview question and answer. So in the in the next slide, I am going to show you how we can create a VPC, right? And how we can connect your VPC from one region to other region also. NAT gateway is required. Okay, subnet I have already told you. Peering connection. See, if you want to connect between two VPC, we need something called peering connection, my friend. Route table I have told you. So here you can see these are the values you are seeing over here. These are most of your default values. I have not created anything as of now because it is the first question. So I'll create in the next questions, my friend. Internet gateway. So these are the security groups, my friend. You can see if you click on any of these security groups, you will come to know. As I said, right, there is something called ingress or egress, right? That is inbound and outbound. Means see what sort of here you can see clearly TCP protocol we are using, what is the port, what is the source IP you are using, right? And from what sort of a permission output. So here you can see, right, inbound rules count, that is two permission entries. Outbound route counts, that is one permission entry. That is what called your security group, through which you can restrict the unauthorized access of your application, my friend. So I'll give you the URL of this document so you will better understand. So friends, let's move on to the next question, that how do you safeguard your EC2 instance running in a VPC? So the answer is very simple, okay, but you need to understand what is a security group over here. So the answer is security group. But let me take you and I'll give you few examples. Then you will understand how a security group, because under security group is something which is related to your inbound and outbound, my friend. So, if I can say what exactly a security group, so here also in the, and friends, again I am telling whatever I am giving you answer. These are the official documents from AWS. So please, if you know something from somewhere, I am not sure from where is the source, but whatever the data I'm presenting in front of you, those are the authentic data, and that is from AWS. Okay. So here you can say security group is more of a, I can say, control the traffic that allows you to reach and leave the resources that is associated with it. So try to understand. So normally, how it will be, if I'll take you through this one, so you'll understand better. Okay, so just try to understand. A security group is more of your inbound and outbound. Means inbound means what? What sort of a traffic you want to allow to your VPC? That is your virtual private cloud. Suppose you have your cloud. Okay, I have created my own cloud with the name of engineer Abhishek Roshan. And inside that cloud, I have created suppose 10 VMs. And in that 10 VMs, I have installed Jenkins, I have installed Docker or any other application. It's my own website also if I have hosted inside that. Okay, in that virtual private cloud. So what sort of a traffic you want to allow, or who will be able to access your virtual machines? Suppose if you want to do SSH, if you want to hit or if you want to access the Jenkins machine, right? Then who and all is going to access your machine? That is called, my friend, inbound. Inbound is something, just in a layman language, if I'll say, it's more of a, I can say, like suppose you take breathe, right? So we inhale something. So what sort of a, what we are inhaling? We are inhaling oxygen, only O2. We are not inhaling something else. So it's totally depends upon you that what you want to inhale and whatever you want to exhale. Means the outbound will be what sort of a traffic you want to means the exit part. The entry has to be decided by you, that is called inbound, and the outbound is the exit you have to decide. So mostly it will be the entry part, because mostly the unauthorized access will be from outside the world, from your public internet, or you can say from the public network. So that sort of a security, this is why it is called as a security group. So it gives you a I can say, or it through security groups, you can configure your unauthorized access. You can restrict those unauthorized access to your instance inside your virtual private cloud, my friend. Okay, so that is what called your security group, and you can define your own security group, your own inbound rules, right? So here, if you can see, I'm just giving you an example. I have created two, as I said, for VPC we required a subnet. Subnet is nothing but this is the range of the IP which you are going to define inside your VPC, right? Within that subnet, what source and what is the destination, means what IPs you are allowing, right, to hit your instance, to connect with your instance. So here you can see, and what protocols you are allowing here. So here you can see there is a subnet A and there is a subnet B. Okay, for the subnet A, means what I have done is there is a source IP over here. Okay, and the protocol which I am allowing is TCP, and the port is 22. So here I have given 0000, means what? You are allowing everyone, okay, to connect to this, means you have given a kind of a public access to this particular. But so if I can take you here also in the VPC console, so see, it's not like that can anybody can access my instance. After that also, if I have allowed every anywhere from right, if I have given 0 or 0.0.0.0/0, means you are allowing everything to connect to, or you are allowing everyone to connect to your this one to your instance. But at the same time, your account ID is also matters, my friend. Through your account ID, the region matters. There are some other security, so don't think that this is not secure. No, it's you are who is going to decide who is going to access my VM. So as of now, because you made it as a public kind of a stuff, this is why I have just given an example over here. So this is totally a private network. VPC means what? It's a private cloud. Okay. So here, if a subnet one, so here I have given for this one, there is another subnet B. I have given here also, right? So if suppose this subnet A wants to communicate to subnet B, the instance of subnet A is not going to communicate with subnet B. Means what? The instance is going to communicate. Suppose from the instance which is in the subnet A wants to communicate or want to access the subnet B, then how it's going to possible? So let me explain you this. So friends, this is the diagram as I said, right? And this is the diagram and this is the example which I have clearly shown that the first inbound rule in the security group, you are allowing your SSH traffic to the instance in the subnet A from a specific address range. That is what we have done it, right? We have given a specific address range over here. Okay. And the second inbound rule in the security group one allows the instance in the subnet A to communicate with each other using any protocol and port. Why any protocol and port? Because protocol we have given all, port we have given all, right? And the here also all and all, means what? You are giving 0.0.0. Okay. And now moving to the next inbound rule in the security group one, that allows instance in the subnet. And now the first inbound rule in security group 2 allows in the instance subnet B to communicate with each other using any protocol. Here also I have given the same rule, right? So both the security groups use the default outbound rule, which allows all traffic. Means both of them can communicate with each other because we have given a default rule. We have set a default rule. So security group is just setting your rules that what sort of a traffic you want to allow to your VPC, which is going to access your instance, my friend. Okay. And friends, I wanted to show you how a security group look like. So here you can see these are the default security group which is created. If you log into your dashboard, so here you can see this is the security group ID. How many inbound rules, like two permission entries are there? How many outbound rules are there? Right? And here this is the security group rules are there. and what sort of a protocol we are using. SSH as of now we have allowed, and the we have allowed all means 0.0.0.0 means what you have allowed all traffic, okay, to communicate to this instance, okay. So this is how a security group look like. So moving on to the next question, my friend. This question has been asked multiple times, but again, in a VPC, how many instances can you use? See, earlier there were like some 20 instances we can create, okay, and in VPC limit side is something 65,000 it was. But according, if you will ask me, it's we cannot say. See, it's totally depends upon some criteria which you need to understand. It's depend upon your account limit, the account which you are using, okay, the VPC size, what sort of a VPC size you have. So here, this is why I said, if somebody is going to ask you in the interview that how many instances can you get, the ideal answer, see, you cannot give a specific value to that person, because see, it's totally depends upon some factors. So here also you can see some other resources also are there, like your access control list. Means there are some other components on which it depends upon your instances size. Means how many instances you can create. It depends upon the region availability, right? Means that region, the data center, how the data center is how big in that region. Okay, elastic load balancer. So these are some reasons. And if you talk about very theoretically, so in Amazon Web Services, the number of instances you can create in one virtual private cloud depends on various factors, including your type, size, your VPC, your AWS account limit, and resources available within your chosen AWS region. So there is no, I can say, fixed limit to number of instances within a VPC, but there are some practical consideration limit to be aware. See, it's always like I can see there is, suppose I am giving you a lemon example. You can eat food, right? So somebody can eat three chapatis, somebody can eat four chapatis. So it depends upon each and every individual diet, right? So see that person, even if I'll give you, you can eat some 10 chapatis also, right? And a person who is looking very tall and all, he eats only three chapatis. So it depends upon each and individuals. So here also, that is just an example. So it depends upon the reason, what sort of a data center we have, how much space we have, right? The AWS account, if you talk about, every account has its own limitation. If you can see here, this is my account, my friend, right? So my account has what sort of limitations I have set it for my account. So it depends upon account size, multiple factors. Okay, so we cannot say it. Okay, so, friends, let's move on to the next question. That is question number 4. So, can you establish a peering, or you can say, can you establish a peering connection to VPC in a different region? Okay. So, the answer for this one is yes, according to me. And somebody is going to tell you that it's not possible. No, friend, it's possible. I'm going to show you right away. Okay. It's in the document of your AWS only. Okay. So if somebody is telling, then it's absolutely wrong. So yes, we can establish a peering connection VPG with a different region, but it will be in the same network. Okay, I can show you here, so you'll understand. First, you understand what is a VPC peering connection. So VPC peering connection, just try to understand from here. If you can see here, suppose we have a VPC A and VPC B. Okay, so VPC means what? Suppose I have my own network. Amazon has its own network, or Flipkart has its own network, right? So, but if both of them wants to communicate with each other, and both of them are in the same region, okay, will they able to communicate? Yes, they will be able to communicate. But so for this VPC, so means how? So they need to use something called VPC peering. Okay, if you do a VPC peering, means the VPC of A and VPC B we can communicate. Mean the instance of VPC A can communicate with the VPC of B. Means both are private network only. But if you do a VPC peering, then both of them will be able to communicate within the same region. But the question is whether we will be able to communicate in a different region or not? Yes, we can communicate. So here you can see it's clearly mentioned also that a VPC peering connection is a network connection between the VPC that enables you to route traffic, them using a IPv4 address and IPv6. Okay, instance in either VPC can communicate with each other as if they are within the same network. You can create a VPC peering connection between your own VPC or with a VPC in a another AWS account. Okay, means I have this account, right? I have this account, right? This is one account ID, and there will be another account will be there. And at the same time, with a VPC in another AWS account, and the VPC can be in different regions. This is what I was talking about. Also known as inter-region VPC peering connection, we can call it. Suppose if you want to communicate from one state to another state, yes, we can communicate, my friend, but this is not something like a NAT gateway or a gateway. No, it's not something like a physical hardware. It's more of a, I can say, something software kind of stuff where you need to configure few things and then you can do a VPC peering, my friend. Okay, so the answer for this one is yes. And here, see, this is what I told you. Here also it's mentioned that AWS uses the existing infrastructure of VPC to create a VPC peering, and it's neither a gateway nor a VPN connection. Neither a gateway means what? It's not some kind of a I can say for in a layman language, like you are crossing one country to other country, a border kind of stuff. No, no, my friend. Okay, and it's not something virtual private network, right? Normally, you see when you are into an organization, you need something. If you have something Cisco VPN or something we used to, but now it's not there, right? So this is what I am telling. So this is something called VPC peering. Now you guys, if understand what is VPC peering, and if you have any doubt, you can ask me forward, my friend. Okay. So friends, let's move on to the next question. That is question number 5. That can you connect your VPC with a VPC owned by another AWS account? I think just now I have in the answer of that question number 4, I have answered this question only. So the answer of this question is, my friend, here you can see clearly. Can we connect? So the answer is clearly here. You can create a VPC peering connection between your own VPC or with a VPC in another AWS account, right? So yes, we can do it. Correct. Suppose I have my own account. Okay, I have created with another account, with Nitin or anyone, any subscriber you can take and you can create. So yes, we can do it, my friend. And the answer is very clearly over here. And my friend, also this the answer from where I'm getting these links also I'll give you in the description, so it will be easy for you to no need to rush somewhere else. You can get the answer directly from here. Okay, and these are the authentic. Okay, so the answer is yes, we can connect. Okay, and at the same time, one more thing. Suppose account, right, engineer Abhishek Roshan, and there is another account with XYZ user is there, okay, but that user has also to allow me to communicate with his account, okay, that is the main criteria. So this is why also it is mentioned that the other user has to allow you to communicate to his account. He has to give you permission to communicate to his account, okay. So that has to be done. Without that, you cannot communicate. This is why I said uh, here it's totally depends upon your account. So I have this account ID. There will be some different XYZ account ID will be there. So if you want to communicate to other in that account, there is VPC created. So if I have to communicate from this VPC, from my VPC to other VPC, I can no, until unless I cannot communicate when the other account will give me the access to communicate with his VPC. So within the region also we can do it, inter region also we can do it, and with a different account also we can do it. But it's all depends upon that the next person or the next, see, until unless if somebody, if you are requesting something from someone, if he'll not give you the access to you, okay, then how, if suppose we are from India, okay, and if you want to go to US, correct? So if you have some right visa and all, so if you the other country will not give you visa, how can you go to the other country? The answer is very simple. Friends, let's move on to the next question. That is question number 6. What are all different connectivity options available for your VPC? So these are like, suppose in your VPC, what all options? This is the answer of your same first question. It's in other words, whether you can touch your ears like this or you want to touch your ears like this. So uh, the answer is same, my friend. Okay. So it's asking like, but here it's asking what all connectivity options you are get. Okay. So it's pretty simple. Your NAT will be there, NAT gateway will be there. Let me show you, then you'll better understand. Here I have opened a VPC here also, and in the upcoming slides or in the upcoming videos, I am going to show you how to create a VPC also, because in some question they are going to ask. So I need to show you, okay? So I'll show you everything. Don't worry about that one. It's just a starting, my friend. Okay. So here you can see it's a NAT gateway is required for the connectivity. You can use VPC peering connection for the connectivity. We required internet gateway also. At the same time, we required a VPC virtual private gateway also. We required, right? We required yeah. So these are the some of the connectivity options which we get it. Suppose if you want to connect from one VPC to the other VPC normally. So network ACL is there. These things are there, right? Security group is related to your means what sort of a traffic you will allow. It's not like that you are using security group to connect from one VPC to the other VPC. It's inside within you. Again, I am telling you, right? It's something related to your own VPC. Means what sort of a traffic you want to allow to access your instances, right? Okay. So friends, let's move on to the next question. That is question number 7. So, can a EC2 instance inside your VPC connects with the EC2 instance belonging to other VPCs? Yes, my friend, it's possible. Just now I have shown you, right? How it's possible through internet gateway, right? So here, if you can see, this is just a instance I have created for my Jenkins machine to install Jenkins. So let me take you through so you'll understand. Just write it down VPC. Okay. So this is the VPC, and if you want to connect to other what to other instance in another VPC, we can do it. How we can do it with the internet gateway. That is what. So the question is what? The question is, can I EC2 instance inside your VPC, means in your private network, connects with the EC2 instance belonging to other VPC? The answer is yes, possible. That is what I have shown you till now, right? So VPC peering is different, but means how it's going to access an instance of your one VPC to the other VPC. So that is something called your internet gateway, my friend. Okay. So the answer for this one is yes, we can do it. So for that we required a internet gateway, my friend. That is what here. These are the internet gateway. So here you can see IGW is there. These are the default internet gateway through which you can communicate the instance of your one VPC to the other VPC. Okay. So moving on to the next question, my friend, that is question number 8. That how can you monitor network traffic in your VPC? Okay. So the answer is very simple. These are the very common question asked in the interviews. This is your VPC flow logs. Okay. Normally, if you want to monitor, I'll show you the. This is again the document is directly how if you search this also you will come to know monitoring your VPC. So you can see clearly it's written you can use following tools to monitor traffic or a network access of your VPC, that is virtual private cloud. That is your VPC flow logs is one thing here you can see clearly. You can use VPC flow logs to capture detailed information about the traffic going to and from network interface in your VPC. Means what it's telling? It's telling that what us how suppose from your VPC again security group, just try to understand in the form of inbound and outbound. Suppose you inhale right, O2, and you exhale CO2. Same way here also. How, but how, who is monitoring this thing? So your organs only monitoring this thing. So here also I can say, so there is something called a tool over monitoring tool is there, which is monitoring your network traffic. Suppose what sort of a traffic you are, uh, uh, which is trying to access your application, and what sort of, or your instance. I cannot say immediately the application, I'll just say your instance. On top of instance only you are going to host your application. Okay, so what sort of a traffic you want to allow, and what sort of a traffic you want to exit, means from outbound kind of stuff will be there. Okay, so that you can monitor, okay, from your VPC flow logs, my friend. So this is, and there is also something called Amazon VPC IP address manager, IPAM. Okay, so you can use the IPAM to plan, track, and monitor IP addresses for workload. Okay, if you want to know more in detail, so you can learn more about IP address manager, right? So the answer is like VPC flow logs only for this one, for you to capture the detailed information of traffic going to and from the network interface in your VPC, my friend. Okay. So moving on to the next question, my friend. The question is difference between security groups ACL in a VPC. So I have already explained you what is a security group. This is why I have not given answer for this one. And what is a ACL, access control list in a VPC. Okay, so you can get everything. So what is a security group? I have already given you the example over here. This link also I'll give you. That is, these are the very basics. As I said, this the first 10 question is more of your related to at a fresher level, but sometimes they can ask you with the this doesn't require any practical stuff, but yes, you need to know these things. So this is something which is what is a security group. Here it's mentioned clearly, a security group that allows a traffic that allows to reach and leave the resources that is associated with it. Okay, so this is the answer. And what is a ACL? So for ACL, what I can say, you just search here ACL. So friends, security group, you know what is that one. But for a network ACL, that is network access control list, you can say this is more of a, I can say it's related to allow or denies what sort of a inbound and outbound traffic you want to allow or deny at a subnet level. Just try to understand this diagram, you will understand. So security group, which is something related to your access to your instance, means what sort of a suppose what sort of a protocol you want to allow, okay, or you want to access your for a particular VPC. It's not between two subnets. It's not between I can say like you guys are understanding. So it's only related to your one subnet. Okay, suppose you have created two subnet, okay, within the same VPC. Then for that, how you are going to make sure that which all IPs you want to allow and which all IPs you want to deny, that you can control with your network ACL, my friend. That is what here it's mentioned clearly. So suppose for subnet 1 you have network ACL A, and subnet so two, it's more of a, I can say at a network level. Again, subnet level means at a network level, but security group is more of a your at a instance level, or you can say for it's within that same VPC only, but it's more of a for one subnet. Okay, it's not something security group two sub. No, security group is something related to one subnet, and what sort of a protocol you want to allow, means who and all is going to access your instances by using SSH, or your Jenkins machine by using port 80, right? But this is something which sort of a IP you want to allow and which sort of a IP you want to deny. It's related to more of your IPs. Okay, not a protocol, I can say. Yeah, so here you can see clearly it's mentioned traffic at a subnet level, and you can use default network ACL for your VPC, or you can create a custom network ACL for your VPC. right? So these and all you can do it. So friends, here you can see there is a by default network ACL is created. So and two outbound rules are set, two inbound rules are set, right? So this is by default. So if you create ACL, it will start with ACL. So you just understand this is your network ACL and three subnets associated with it. Okay. So here you can understand what is a I can say more of a network ACL, difference between network ACL which is more at a subnet level, and what is something which is related to your, see here you can see allow and deny, correct, and what is something which is related to your security group, which I have already shown you in the previous example, my friend. Correct. So, friends, let's move on to the last question of this session. That is, how an EC2 instance in a VPC establish the connection with the internet? Answer is pretty simple. Suppose if you want to communicate, so normally it's a public IP. So suppose you have created an instance here. So here you can see that I have created an instance, my friend. But this instance has two things. One private IP will be there, one public IP will be there. So if you want to access this instance, then how you are going to access this instance? So here you can see there is one public IP. So if I want to connect to this machine, then I need to use this public IP to connect by using .ppk file will be there. So through putty you can connect to this machine and there will be private IP. This is why I said the answer is your public IP through which you can establish connects from the internet, right? This is how you can do it, my friend. Okay. And if you have any, and the host name, this machine I have created as a Jenkins machine, so you'll see lot more than this in the upcoming session, friends. So friends, I'm ending up the session here only. Thank you for watching this video. For more videos like this, just stay tuned to my channel. Just do take care of your loved ones. Till then, Jai Hind, my friend, and wait for the next another 10 interview question and answer of your AWS series, my friend.